Week 1 of the NBA is in the books, and the Full Court Press Pod is here to catch you up on it.
Let's go.
Guys, what do we think about the first week?
It's looking exciting. You know, no one has proven to me that they are the outright favorite, which I like.
Yeah. I think after the first night of games, when you had LA and Golden State and then Brooklyn and Milwaukee, that was kind of the true test of if there was going to be a top dog this year, and I don't think we have any front runners yet, which makes it for an exciting year.
It's
Kind of
been
like
wild,
we had
man.
last
It's
year.
been really wild. I've enjoyed it, though. We've never had so many posters in the first week, I feel like, ever in history. I mean,
Yeah.
Larry Markkinen dunking on Joker, making him fall down was amazing. John Collins dunking on Lou Garza. Bridges with a 360 dunk in the game 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that was nuts. Just the dunk series that went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the games, like, 2. Ant-Man dunked on Trey Murphy, and then he went down the court on the very next possession and got dunked on by Brandon Ingram, like, the very next play. So, just a bunch of bodies being caught over the week.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
definitely tough because, you know, we obviously like to talk and make predictions. That's what we do. But it's so hard to judge teams this early until, I'd say, like 20 games in, you know, December-ish. I don't want to make, like, any strong accusations. But, again, I mean, that's the fun of this.
Yeah, that's the thing about basketball. It's a long season, and that's the justification that Sixers fans can use for being 2-2 right now.
Yeah. Long season ahead. Just long season.
You
But
came for the neck already. You wanted to emphasize that.
I saw it coming.
No, I know you have some Philly stuff to get off your chest,
Yeah.
Kens.
Yeah, I mean, last night against the Knicks, definitely a brutal game to watch. They had a 15-game winning streak against the Knicks. I think second longest behind the Celtics.
I didn't even know that.
Wow, that's actually
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it kind of the Simmons thing showed a little just because Embiid was your only guy, and the Knicks knew that, and they wore him out.
Yeah.
And I can't even defend him. He looked tired. He looked visibly tired. And the turnovers just got to stop. I think Embiid had 5 alone.
Jesus.
Not my MVP.
I mean, it was bad. The only thing I saw kind of working for them was the corner 3. Korkmaz had a couple looks there. But I don't know. I think Philly just needs a closer. If they don't have that, they can't rely on Bede all season because he will not make it through healthy if they're going to exhaust him.
No chance.
I think that's where the Sixers are going to try and take advantage of the Ben Simmons trade, is find someone that you can give the ball to.
Right.
In the
They
final
need someone
seconds.
more like Jimmy Butler, like to close the game like he used to do.
Yeah.
Certainly not Simmons, not anyone else screaming at me to be that guy. I'd like to see a trade soon, but as I've said before, I don't see it happening until these other teams who don't think they need him start crawling back late in December.
Yeah. LJ, I know a team that you've thought has been hot so far is the Bulls. What do you think about Chicago?
Before we get into the Bulls, Kens, your boy got put on skates last night. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did.
Tyrese
Oh,
Maxey.
it was so bad.
They
Oh.
split.
It was so bad.
Who was it that crossed him up? I think it was Emmanuel
I saw
Quickly, I
him on
think.
Twitter.
It was Emmanuel Quickly, I think.
Yeah, that was
hilarious. I was dying. Like,
so bad.
He
And you
went
know,
out
he's been
bad.
playing so well overall, given the
Yikes.
circumstances, trying to fill in that 5th man spot.
Not a good look for your boy, Kens.
Not a good look for
We're
him.
going to bring him up every episode,
I
but
know.
this is not how I thought we'd bring him up in the second.
This is not how I thought it would be. Hopefully, you know what? He just needed a hug last night. Maybe he's just upset I wasn't there.
Are you going to slide into his
she was trying to fill
DMs?
that void.
Maybe.
You need a hug, question mark, Tyrese?
But no, man, the Bulls have not been competitive for the most part since they had D-Rose MVP
No.
form. They haven't won a ring since 98 with Michael Jordan. But they're 4-0 right now. 4-0. Now, granted, 2 of those games were against the Kate Cunningham-less Detroit Pistons, so, I mean, give or take. But everybody thought that the Bulls were going to be extremely good on offense and be piss poor on defense, but it's actually been the opposite, right? I think they're top 5 in defensive efficiency over the first 4 games, and their transition defense has been crazy. Like, they're locking up. Lonzo and DeRozan, man, doing their thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's been waiting for Lonzo to kind of have that breakout season. I think it could be this year. But yeah, like you said, I mean, Chicago has had the worst record in the NBA for the last 4 years. They have been dead last when you look at the past 4 years. Now they're 4-0. We're seeing something brewing in Chicago. It's pretty exciting. It's their first 4-0 start since 1996.
25 years, yeah.
1996, the three-peat. I wore it
Oh
today in
my
honor
God.
of
Just
it.
got the shirt on.
I mean,
MJ.
they have a really big series ahead of them. going into this weekend. They play. I think the Knicks are going to be their first.
Yeah, that was my point too. Like not even just this weekend.
That's their first real test.
Next 13 games. Look at this: New York Knicks, Utah Jazz, the Celtics, the Sixers twice, both LA teams, Golden State, Brooklyn, Dallas, Denver, and then Knicks again. Yeah. That 13-game stretch is crazy. So,
but you're right. I mean, they are better on defense than anyone expected. I think Lonzo. I mean, they're just scrappy. They're pests in the backcourt, and they're getting their hands on everything, which I don't think anyone expected.
Yeah.
And plus, Vucevic hasn't even played well at all so far. So if he gets it going, looking like a legitimate threat in the East. I know it's only 4 games in, but you gotta evaluate it how you see it sometimes.
I mean, they have more talent in Chicago since the Derrick Rose years, like you said. I mean, Zach LaVine's averaging 25 points per game.
Do they though?
DeMar DeRozan, yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Lonzo, Nikola Vucevic. I think they have a solid roster this year.
So you take them over Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose, Ben Gordon.
You're saying Derrick Rose like he did something in that.
Derrick Rose
years.
is better.
Is
better by himself that year than Lonzo and Zach LaVine combined.
All right. I think that they're more of a complete team.
No,
this year.
I definitely agree with that. But as far as like talent wise, I can't go there with you on that one.
All right.
I think when you look into the game against the
Well,
Knicks,
we'll have to see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Time will tell, I guess.
I think Lonzo's going to be a big factor in that argument, though.
Ball control, big ball away.
Right. I think when they go into playing the Knicks, I think the Bulls have the advantage in almost every position, other than maybe power forward. But that'll be a really fun game to watch.
Oh yeah. A team that's impressed me, gotta shout out North Carolina, Charlotte Hornets. Sure. First 3-0 start in franchise history. Let's go. I'm finally excited to watch the Hornets play, which I can't really say.
Isn't pro sports so fun?
Yeah, thank you. I feel welcomed. But yeah, the Hornets look very good. They should be 4-0, but they lost the Celtics in overtime on Tuesday night. But best start in franchise history, like I said. Lamelo Ball is balling out. He's averaging 23 points, 4 threes, 6 boards, and 7 assists in under 30 minutes a game. If he keeps it up, he is going to be, I think, up there in the MVP talks if he keeps playing well.
Really? MVP level? Oh, yeah. That's a bold statement.
I mean, he is one of the most exciting players to watch in the league this year. I think so.
Leads the team in assists, and then you have Bridges, who is leading the team in points and steals. Also having himself an awesome week 1.
I'll give myself some credit for that one because
I was
fantasy drafting. I picked him 4th overall. My friends were giving me heat for it. But he's the East Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Averages 25 points, 9 boards, 50, 40, 90 club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't see that coming. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he scored back-to-back 30-point games, and love to see it, man. Love to see Miles Bridges doing great things out here.
Yeah, he's such a big factor on that Charlotte team, especially because you look at his 4 years in Chicago. Yeah. He's playing so much better this year than he has in the previous 3. He's averaging 25 points. It's only through 4 games, but I definitely can see him keeping it up and just playing a lot better ball than he has since he's been in Charlotte.
I mean, he's known as a slasher, and he's shooting 38.9% from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
I'll talk about another guy who's a slasher but has been shooting lights out.
Tell me about it.
Ja Morant, leading the league, averaging 35 points a night. Ja is going off to start the year. He's shooting 58% from the field, 44% from deep. And the best part about this guy is that he is so hard to guard on the drive. He has one of the best finishes out of any guard, and he is just going off so far.
Torch the Lakers, man, and we need to start appreciating young players while we have them, right?
I think it's so exciting watching young guys succeed the way they do, because it doesn't always go that way.
No, it doesn't. And the thing is, too, is like once they get to be 30+, they don't have that same bounce. So, like, once they get to be to that age where they can't hoop for real anymore, they can still hoop, but not as good as they were.
Yeah.
Watching Zion and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, like, those type of guys, like, get me lit because it's like they're actually doing shit, you know what I'm saying?
What's Zion's deal? Was he hurt and then...
I don't really know what's going on in New Orleans.
He's such a big guy that he almost reminds me of Embiid in a way, where Embiid was like kind of out of shape and needed to get his shit together a little. And Zion, like, he could be better.
If out of shape though. That's the thing.
He's a big boy. I think they.
Why did she say it like that? I'm so dead.
He's just a large man, and like that, you can't stay healthy through an 82-game season that way.
No,
you can't.
And they're trying to limit like his playing time. Obviously, he's coming off that foot surgery.
Right.
They don't want to rush him back because they see him as their franchise player.
Yeah.
And I think that they're just being humble and accepting the fact that they're not going to do well this year. And they accepted that last year, and they're just going to wait until they can rebuild, and then they're going to put Zion into a good program that they built around him and just go from there. But it is a shame. I mean, he's so fun to watch, and we haven't been able to see him like at all really since he went to the NBA.
Yeah.
Remember the first game he actually played? He had like 6 threes, and everybody was just hyped as hell. Like he was finna be like the next MJ or some shit.
Right.
That could still be. We don't know yet.
We'll see
I
what
want it
happens.
to be, but we'll see. Speaking of the
MJs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of the MJs, I think we were going to go over to top 75.
Yeah.
So NBA's 75th anniversary. Shout out NBA. We love you. That's why we're doing this podcast. They put together a list of the top 75 players of all time to ever play the game of basketball. LJ, break down that list for me. What do you think about it?
Before we dissect this list, man, I thought it was kind of lame how they didn't put it in order. Like they just
Why was
they
it so
just
hard to
they
find
just
it
put
also?
it like
Yeah, that was the most 2021 thing I've ever seen.
they just put it in
life.
like a list, and it's whatever. But
Yeah, they also there was a top 50 list years ago
there
and they're
was.
all on it, correct?
All the people
top
from
all
the
the
top
people
50.
that
I
are
think
in
they're
the
still
top
there.
75 are in the top 50.
They've got to
Right,
be.
okay.
They've definitely got to be.
The thing about the top 75 for us in particular is we haven't seen over 50% of these guys play in our lifetime, even if we know who they are. Like, we haven't watched them.
But
so
you don't have to for some of these guys though.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like who?
There's two guys that got stuff. You know, there's Kyrie Irving and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was a 5-time leader in rebounders, 3-time defensive player of the year. He averaged 20. He averaged 20 and 13, 5 years in a row, right? He averaged 3 blocks 2 years in a row, and he led his team as the best player to the finals as a center. I don't think that's ever happened like since Kareem.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost to Kobe in 5, but that's Kobe. But the thing is, there's guys on this list like Billy Cunningham, Paul Arzin. I didn't know who the fuck Paul Arzin even was.
But we're also like, it's kind of a hard list for us to dissect. But the only Howard I knew was a Sixers role player, and then obviously I learned quickly that he had a great 7, 8, 9 years before that.
Wait. There's no way that
You didn't know
Orlando Magic Dwight Howard.
I just like when I
Superman.
No, I know when I like
Blew out the
immediately.
Superman's
candle.
in the building.
Blew out the cupcake candle during the dunk contest.
I'm disappointed.
Legendary.
because
Legendary.
No,
All-time moment.
I needed like a second. Like when I thought about Dwight Howard, like that's who I thought of him as.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah,
you
I'm
missed
a
out
little
on very
He's one of my
good
favorite
Dwight
players to
Howard.
watch.
I know, but so you say you want to put him on the list. Who do you take off of the list?
Like the dude I just talked about, Paul Arzin.
Paul?
I looked him up, right? And his stats are okay. Like, I think he averaged 23 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the 1950s.
Right.
Wilt was averaging 50, so 23 is not that impressive to me at that point.
And also, when we compare guys who have finished their entire career, their stats at the end of their career are hurting their average.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So comparing them to guys that are still in their prime or still have years to go is kind of tough.
That's fair. That's a good point.
The thing that I did see also is that he went to the NBA for his first 2 years and he left to go to the Marines. I feel like a lot of the boomers that voted on that list like kind of use that as like a sentimental like value to like put him on there. But he doesn't really deserve to be on there, in my opinion. There's also another guy on here. I would probably take Dolph Shaves off or Bill Sharman and put on Kyrie. And like I heard somebody say this like 3 days ago, and they were like, "Can the story of the NBA be told without Kyrie Irving?" And the answer is no. All right, he's mainly responsible for LeBron winning that championship. Like that shot gave them the lead. It kind of was like conclusive. And Kyrie's he's one of the best ball handlers of all time, if not the best. I just don't think that you can leave him off that list.
No, I agree. The hot take I came up with was, and this is coming from a Sixers fan, I know this is going to cause some issues. I think he could arguably take Allen Iverson's spot on that list.
Oh, no.
You're tweaking. Hell
I mean,
no.
he has a better jump shot.
Don't hate on AI.
Listen, hear me out. Better jump shot, better player in the clutch, arguably the best ball handler of all time.
Just a better player in the clutch?
A better clutch player than Iverson was.
Kyrie had one clutch moment, and now you want to like dick around and be
even
like
Iverson, like, he didn't win anything. At least, like, Kyrie has won a championship.
Iverson didn't win. He went to the finals.
Yeah, he
lost
won
to
in
Kobe.
conference finals.
Yeah, but I don't know. Not like
No, he went to the finals. He played
he went
against
to the
Kobe.
finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's achieving something. I mean, there's plenty of guys
And
that play
yeah.
now.
We talking about practice.
I'm
Not a
dead.
game. Not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Yeah, Allen Iverson didn't practice. He's a top 75
That's
player
true.
of all time. The thing about
he's a
Iverson
top
for me
75 iconic player.
is iconic and skills-wise. I mean, he dominated.
That's damn near
for, like,
blasphemous, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he dominated for like a decade. He was everyone's favorite player to
He
watch.
influenced
Yeah.
a whole generation of black kids to wear cornrows and like twists to like, you know what I'm saying? And it's, bro, he stepped over Ty Lue in the finals. Like, that's an iconic
That's
all-time
what I
moment.
think about when I think
Every
of
time, yeah.
Allen Iverson.
But for the most part, I mean, there's guys on here that deserve to be on here. There's Giannis, there's LeBron, Kyrie. I'm not Kyrie.
What do you think
Damian
about
Lillard.
Clay not being on it?
I agree with that. I don't think you take off anybody else to put Clay on.
Yeah,
Right. That's the thing. It's like, who do you take off to
Yeah,
put someone on? That's
exactly.
a tough
I
part.
think he'll be on there if he can get healthy and keep shooting how he was. I think eventually he'll be on there, but
Right.
I think it is fair to not include these guys that are like halfway through their prime but haven't fully reached it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why top 75 is tough right now to look at because you're comparing guys from the 1950s like your
Right.
boy, and then you're comparing guys that are have been in the league for less than
Right.
10 years.
And I'm
have
sure
so
those
much
guys
more
like they
potential.
take that into account. Like they're not obviously not just comparing stat for stat, but comparing players who have completed their season and had like the downfall towards the end of their
Mhm.
season. Their stats are skewed compared to the guys who are in the prime.
I disagree actually with Taff. I don't think Clay ever makes it.
You don't think so?
If you look at this list, every player on here is the best player on their team, and they were successful at it. Not Clay's a tremendous player.
Here's the thing though.
Right.
You're saying best player on your team. He's not. Steph Curry is and has been for the past
Right.
10 years.
Right.
But Klay Thompson was the second best player on the best team of all time for a couple years.
And what happened? They lost in the finals.
Well, they still won 3. Steph and Klay, Splash Bros, still went on to win 3 championships in 4 years.
Clay was the third
Klay
best
Thompson
player on
deserves
that team.
credit.
Clay was the third best player.
Once
on that team.
KD joined, yeah, but there's 2 years where he was the second best player.
There's 1 year that he won a championship as being second best player. And that year, they didn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love, so it's questionable if they would have got it at all, if they would be playing. But those were whatever, so you can't really say that. But as far as Clay being on the list,
Why does KD have to mess everything up? Damn it.
it's just like
There was so much good
You
going.
want to root for him
So
so
much
badly.
good going on in Golden State with the Splash Bros. Klay Thompson was balling out as Steph Curry's sidekick.
Think
And
how much it takes to beat LeBron James. Like that's what it comes down to, honestly.
Mhm.
You need 3 out of the top 10 players in the NBA to beat one person.
they didn't need him though. They didn't need KD. They still beat him once.
They really didn't though.
You think they needed KD to beat that Cavs team that
Yes.
literally had nobody
Yes.
except for LeBron?
Yes.
I don't know. They had Andre Iguodala,
No.
Draymond Green.
The
as
argument
well.
is always going to be
Harrison Barnes.
if
They had
Draymond
a good
Green
supporting
didn't get
cast.
suspended, would they would have won the series? We don't know. Probably, but we don't know. Right? So
So is that all from our top 75? We'll get into that more though.
we will.
Warriors, Cavs. That was
Yeah.
just a crazy.
Y'all gotta watch to the. We'll probably put out later episode. Honestly,
We'll continue this debate about LeBron versus the Warriors because I'll go for LeBron.
LeBron versus the world.
I'll go for I'll go for
Not the
you.
Warriors.
I'll take you up on that argument, LJ, because I know you're a big LeBron fan. Are there any more top 75 arguments to be made?
I can only say so much about guys I didn't get to see play, and I mean it's so hard because sure there's guys that should be on there, but it's like who do you take off? That's the tougher question.
Yeah.
I saw some people on Twitter like saying that AD shouldn't be in the top 75. So what do y'all think about that? It's tough. He's borderline to me. He's very borderline. Like
I mean,
I would have to see
It's
the
just so
alternatives.
hard to compare guys who are in their prime and like
Yeah.
are still have years to go.
I'm not a big supporter of AD since he came to LA. He's been fighting some injuries, but he dominated in New Orleans for
Yeah.
4 or 5 years. But they were the worst team in the league, and he got the ball basically
in
the
the
whole
bubble
game.
he turns up though, so
He did, yeah. That was a good championship run.
It's tough.
Yeah, 80's interesting to me. I don't know. We'll move on. It was a fun list that they came out with, and it gave us a fun argument.
When do you think we'll get a top 100?
100th year anniversary.
Oh,
25 years.
That would make sense.
I'd say that we could make one, but I feel like that would be like a 6-hour podcast, and we still wouldn't be resolved.
There's so many, moving parts into that.
LJ and I would argue who would go number one on that list for at least 3 of those hours.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, well, we have 98 more guys to rank.
Yeah.
After we'd put MJ at number 1. But anyways, moving on. Wednesday night bets. Obviously, we're recording this on Wednesday. NBA doesn't come out with their betting lines until the day of the game. So,
you'll be able to check us tomorrow and see how we did.
Yep. Start us off. Who's your lock for tonight?
I have Memphis plus 4.5. I think Ja will be the Ja Damian lineup. I see Ja dominating that. He's been on fire. Damian's not. He quite literally is the opposite of that. The Blazers are coming off a 30-point loss to the Lakers. It's just not looking great for them right now. If I had to pick momentum, it'd be on Memphis' side.
All right, so Memphis plus 4.5 at Portland. That's Kenzie's lock. Do you have another one that you want to get into?
I also have OKC plus 9.5. I mean, they're at home. I don't think I think the game's gonna be pretty close. I think the Lakers played last night. They're tired. Now they're on the road. OKC is at home. They're not convincing me.
I like that.
The Lakers aren't convincing me that they can blow out the teams they're supposed to be blowing out.
I like that bet a lot. I think 9.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
OKC, I mean, they're not good, but in the NBA, it's easy for teams to kind of take a night off.
Yeah.
Especially when you're LeBron James.
Are we going straight on points or like the whole game as a whole? Like who
whatever
wins?
you want. You can take a team money line.
There's no
the
fucking way Lakers lose OKC.
No. We're talking.
We think they're covered.
9.5. The spread.
9.5,
yeah.
Oh.
We're taking OKC spread.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride that one with you. OKC plus 9.5 against the Lakers. LJ, are you ready? Do you have your your Wednesday night lock?
I do. I'm actually gonna take the Wizards over Boston tonight. I'm gonna take that
straight up.
That 4.5. Yeah. And
who's favored?
Boston's favored by 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
the
taking
upset. Money line upset.
I'm taking the underdog, and I got the Wizards. They're 2-1 right now. Kyle Kuzma is really the leader of that team right now. And he's so inconsistent, but he's fun to watch. And I think Boston, they go through their stretches where they have 2 good games and then 1 bad game, and it's a continuous cycle. So I think that they get it done tonight. And what about you?
I'm going to go with my Charlotte Hornets. They're off to a hot start. 3-1, should be 4-0. That's a little asterisk. But I like the Hornets against the Magic. They're 5.5-point favorites. I never would have thought that I'd bet the Charlotte Hornets as 5.5-point favorites. But I think that they'll be able to cover that against the Orlando Magic, who have a ton of potential, but they're just not good right now. The Hornets are rolling. They're the second highest scoring offense in the league to start out the year, second most assists in the league as a team, 5th fastest pace offense. This team likes to run. They like to go. A lot of quick guys.
I like that stat.
Led by Lamelo Ball.
I've never heard of that.
That's a good little stat.
And I like Hornets minus 5.5 in Orlando.
Yeah.
We'll see how those go.
The thing about the Lakers is I said it earlier, I don't want to judge teams this early into the season, but I feel like the Lakers on their worst days should still be better than a lot of teams on their good days. And the showing against the Spurs, which they won obviously, but just shouldn't have been that close. I could see OKC being a similar situation. Let's
talk about that game though, like that. LeBron didn't play, right? And Russell's no longer the third option. And what does he do when he's no longer the third option? He scores 30 and 8.
Yeah, I agree. He has to be forced in that situation to be able to shine.
It's like with Westbrook, I love him so much, but you almost have to play through him and let him control the offense, right?
Yeah. For
him to be really successful, he can't divert to being third option. It's basically impossible. So if they can figure out how to have them 3 at their game all at the same time, nobody's beating them. But that's the problem, though.
What's the solution? Do you bench LeBron and then bench
hell no.
Russell and ever put them on the court together? That's hard to do.
They're gonna learn to play. They're gonna learn. I mean, maybe not start them. I don't know. They'll learn to play together. You'll be able to have the big three on the court at the same time, but I do think that there should be designated times during the game where you give LeBron and AD that rest and you let Russell Westbrook dominate, take over the court. I think that they're going to find that mix. Obviously, if it's a tie game with 2 minutes left, you're going to want your three best players on the court.
Right.
But I think middle of the third quarter, give LeBron James his 5-6 minutes of rest on the bench, which he needs and he deserves, and then that can be the time where Russell Westbrook takes over, whereas before they didn't really have that.
The thing about last night was they put AD back in. It's like the fact that they showed that vulnerability that they felt that they need to put AD back in and didn't think Russ could take care of the game. I wonder if that's what they were thinking, or if, you know what I mean? Because they have him, so it's like, do we need to go risk AD, who's kind of hurt? Do we really have to risk him week one, put him in overtime to beat the Spurs? And they did, which I found very interesting. Instead of letting Russ just take care of it.
And that's the thing. Like, even watching the game last night, like, there was certain moments where they looked really good, but there was also moments where I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, I know Russ, he low-key got dunked on by Joker Podol. Like, I was almost disgusted. I was like, you don't let this trash NBA player dunk on you. Doug McDermott caught a body, and I was like, what are the Lakers doing? Like, y'all have D. Howard and DeAndre Jordan. Like, y'all should not be letting people get dunked on. But I don't know, man. I want them to turn it around, but I mean, they just beat the Grizzlies and the Spurs, so we'll see how it goes from here.
They're gonna win games from talent alone, but it'll just be how will they be able to.
That's not sustainable at all.
Yeah, how will they be able to face off against other top teams? I mean, we saw them play the Warriors and the Suns, who are the two better teams that they've played this year, and they lost by an average of 8.5 points in those two games.
They need to win these next 5 games. They have OKC twice, Houston twice, and the Cavs.
Yeah.
Like, those are 5 almost gimme games. So, like, they need to just go on a run.
That'll be very telling. You know, week one's over. You're shaking off some
jitters.
So, I mean, it's so like the Lakers having 3 studs like that. And then you compare him to someone like the Sixers, who literally have Embiid, and say he gets hurt, like, they're actually screwed. So, like, that's where the advantage shows of having, like, a power team like that, is that they have so many options compared to some of these other teams, like the Sixers, who
need Embiid. Yeah, that's a great point.
A, pressure, B, like, he's going to exhaust himself. If games they'd be like, let's play it safe, he's kind of hurt, let's bench him. They're no longer going to do until they find a trade for Simmons.
You're telling me that Embiid can't stay healthy for a full season?
No.
Oh, wow. It's news to me, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's why super teams are dominating the league right now. Look at the Brooklyn Nets, who had literally their two of their 3 best players were hurt in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and Kevin Durant still took the Nets to Game 7 against the Bucks, even without Harden and Irving. It helps when you have that talent, and when you're the Lakers, I think that's definitely the solution.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time to get festive here.
Yes, sir.
So Halloween's right around the corner. LJ's got the ski mask.
I'm not gonna put this on because it's hot as fuck, but I'm not gonna put it on. But it's Halloween, bitches. So
Halloween, bitches. You kind of scared me when you walked in with that ski mask, not gonna lie.
Yeah, this little room.
We're gonna go with something a little less scary about Halloween, and that's the candy that we love to give out.
Yes, sir.
2021 Halloween candy draft.
So the way this works, guys, we're gonna have 5 rounds. It's gonna be snake draft style, and we're gonna start off with someone, and we're gonna go in order, and we're gonna figure out the order right now by doing rock paper scissors.
All right, let's go. Who's gonna pick first? All 3 of us.
Hey,
are we doing 1, 2, 3 on 4 or 1, 2, 3?
Rock paper scissors shoot, and you go and shoot.
I mean, what?
What the fuck does the shoot even mean? Okay, let's go.
I don't know.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Damn.
So I go first.
Kins is going
you get
first.
to pick which spot you want to go in.
Yeah.
You want to go 1, 2, or 3.
And it's a snake draft, so.
Right.
This is a strategic pick.
Yeah, low key, it's a tough choice.
I'll go 2.
Okay, interesting.
That was my least likely spot.
Yeah,
I would have not went 2.
That's a waste of
Yeah,
a paper
is.
right there.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Let's go.
I need a
I'm
visual.
going 3.
Frick, I don't want to go first.
Yes, let's go.
Well, I guess since I'm first, I just have to take the OG Halloween candy right off the bat. Skittles, give me The
Yeah,
taste,
I thought it was close to
That's what I
something
was
else.
going
Yeah.
for.
taste the rainbow.
You can have
Skittles.
that. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
terrible first pick, but
Who doesn't love Skittles?
I mean, I
So
don't
many
like
people.
Skittles, but it's not my number one option though. It's not my go-to.
All right, who you got?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
document
gonna
it.
go for. I'll go for the classic Kit Kat. I like their ball handling skills. I think they move up and down the court pretty well.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I like to build my team around the Kit
A
Kat.
lot of versatility.
They have some
with the
fire
cracks.
commercials too. I ain't gonna lie. Dang, still my second round pick, but for this
You
first
have,
one,
you have two, LJ.
I know
back to
for
back.
my first pick though, I'm gonna go Hershey's Cookies and Cream.
Oh, that's a
Specific,
good
but
one.
I'm not
Yeah.
hating it.
That's a good one, but I feel like that's more of a sleeper that you get in like your third or fourth round.
Right.
But
We
I'll
weren't
let
gonna
you
take
take
that
it.
from you.
But look, that to me is my go-to.
It is
go-to
so
chocolate
good.
bar.
So
So
good.
that's my first round pick.
Okay.
Now second, I'm kind of indecisive, so I really don't know what direction I want to go in. But I'm stuck between two choices.
Okay.
I'm trying to pick strategically right now. Like one of my choices y'all might not even think of till later in the rounds. But I'm gonna go Starburst for this next one.
Another good classic.
I'm gonna go Starburst.
All right.
Juice Drags, baby. Let's go.
If I'm building my team around a Kit Kat, I feel like I have to balance it out a bit. So I'm gonna go Sour Patch Kids.
Oh no!
That's a good one.
Come on, you're stealing my candy right from my basket.
Is that
I'm
number
not a
two?
big Sour Patch guy.
They're so good.
Same, but just makes sense for the team, you know?
It does make sense.
It does, yeah. The Kit Kat, Sour Patch Kid,
You gotta balance each other out.
they'll work off each other well.
For sure.
Agreed.
I think Skittles. I think that they bring the versatility and the color.
For sure.
So I think a team that gives you a little more, or a position candy that gives you a little more balance, are definitely the Reese's Pieces. You got the orange, yellow, and the
Hell
brown.
takes right now. Those don't even taste the same as the
Reese's
actual cup.
Pieces are
They
so
don't even
good.
taste the same as the
No.
actual
I
Peanut
thought
cup.
butter.
You know, I thought you were gonna go for the cup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why I have two picks back to back. The third round pick, first pick of the third round, to complement my Reese's Pieces are the Reese's Cups.
No versatility. That's
Tell me
so
I don't have the
boring.
chemistry.
I mean, they're
I-
gonna butt heads.
No,
I'll
they
say
Yeah,
no,
they
no,
will.
no, no.
You
That's
got the same player. You have the same player.
no, they're not the
That's
same
just
player.
wrong.
Reese's Cups, he's a big man. He'll
Same
stay
player,
down low.
different mindset.
The Reese's Pieces are quicker. They'll run around the perimeter. That's just great chemistry.
So who's your
You
team
can't-
so far? The cup pieces and
And Skittles.
Skittles.
It just doesn't make sense in my head. But that's fine.
Don't
I'm
hate.
gonna go-
Don't hate.
I'm not going for speed on this one. I'm just going for flavor. I'm gonna go Milk Dud.
Oh, you can have that shit. That shit is gross.
I don't know
You
if I've
like
ever
Milk
had.
Dud?
I don't know if I've ever had a
No.
milk
You
dud.
probably shouldn't. You'll have
They
9 cavities.
taste like Whoppers, low key.
No.
Yes, they do. That's just
Aren't
nasty.
they like the same thing?
I'm gonna ride behind Whoppers until I die. I know no one else likes them.
I like Whoppers. I gave you a Whopper
You gave me a
yesterday.
Whopper yesterday.
They're pretty good.
I thought it's because you didn't like
They're
them.
underrated though. LJ, you have two picks. You have to be strategic here though.
Yeah, I know. This is a big transition for me. Pause. That sounded so weird, but my first pick, I'm gonna go M&M's
I forgot about
for my
those.
I
first.
feel like
pick.
that's a top prospect that we just did not
Yeah,
choose.
exactly.
I have my next one.
And for my
Please-
second one,
Please take it from me.
for my second one, I'm very, very fucking indecisive, but I'm trying to predict what Kansas candy's gonna be.
I want you to
just
take
so I
it.
can, just so I can
She
take
took
it.
Make
mine.
sure it makes sense with your team. This isn't about me.
No, this is about overall talent. This is about overall talent.
Who's taking you to the conference finals?
I'm gonna have to go. Damn it, this is so hard.
Come on.
This is not yours, but I'm gonna take Jolly Ranchers on this one.
Okay. That adds some diversity for sure.
What flavor are you gonna start?
Flavor, I'm gotta go blue raspberry all the way.
Yeah,
Okay,
You got
sure.
to,
good,
yeah.
You got it, you got it.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
What was mine? I forget now.
So let's pause. What are our teams so far?
Who
looking
you?
like?
Okay, I got it here.
I know
So,
I have Starburst, M&M's, Jolly Ranchers, and the cookies and cream. That's my
You're
team
pretty
so
balanced
far.
right now.
Yeah, that's a good balance. Kins, you wanna say your team? You
What am I
got-
doing? Kit Kat, Sour Patch Kids, Milk Dud. Now I'm going to go. I'm gonna go for the sharpshooter Butterfinger.
That was not what I was expecting. Oh, fuck no. Oh my god.
Butterfinger.
That's the worst.
No, it's not.
Out of left
You don't
field.
No,
know that.
actually, it's not the worst
You just didn't think
chocolate
of it.
bar. No.
No,
I thought of it. Trust me, I thought of it.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to pick it. You can.
That's
Her
okay.
team is top heavy.
I think I'd take Butterfingers and Reese's Cups over any other candy in
Wow.
this lineup.
Did you hear that?
Want to trade?
That's a hot take.
You
right
know
there.
she just offered a trade. That's when you know you don't like it.
Exactly.
I just
They're
want
already
Reese's
there.
Cups.
She's panicking. She's hitting the panic
She's
button.
from
She's
Philadelphia.
hitting the
I can
panic
already
button.
tell.
Why does this always go back to Philly?
Come on, trust the
Philly
process.
different,
Trust the
bro.
process.
Y'all are
I
different
got 4
there.
good candies. No, get out of here. All right. So this is it for me. My 4th and 5th round pick. This is tough though. This is tough. I already have the Reese's Pieces, the Reese's Cup Chemistry, the Skittles. Just a solid.
She goes, who cares?
Just a solid team. So for my 4th round pick, I'm gonna have to go with just a good old classic, Snickers. Gotta love your Snickers.
That's what I thought that you were gonna pick, but you
No.
picked Butterfinger, and I was like, just threw me a
No.
curveball.
I will say I am gonna go for the other classic.
Oh, you're jumping my pick.
Ooh, I got a
Ooh.
banger.
Is that a trade? Is that
y'all don't
a
get it.
draft rumor? Did Adam Schefter
Maybe.
just tweet?
Damn
per
it.
sources,
Okay, just
Kins.
go. Just go.
I want to know.
No,
Who you gonna? I just
why
want
do
to
you
make.
guys always trying to snipe my picks?
All right, fine. I'll worry about my own team.
Yeah.
To round out the dream team of Halloween candies, I'm gonna go with a little sleeper, one that you might have forgotten about, but
Oh, don't do this.
always
Don't do
has a
this.
special place in my heart, and that's Smarties.
Okay. We're cool. We're cool.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a low key good pick. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
I used to smoke them in like 6th grade in the classroom. Used to
Oh,
grind
yeah.
them up and just.
The best thing was when
You
the
were that
teacher would
guy?
toss you Smarties. You'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the playground and smoke these Smarties.
I was not informed of this.
This
Actually-
is the Philly
Is
stuff,
that not
bro.
a thing in Philly? Maybe that just could be a Southeast thing.
Yeah.
After this, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll go smoke some
Let's go
Smarties
smoke
after
some
this.
Smarties.
Let's go buy some.
All right,
Yeah.
my final pick is going to be the actual other classic Twix bar.
Left or right? That's the question.
Right.
Right. Why right?
I'm right. Like I like even numbers, right-handed things. Like I don't know, just makes sense in my head.
You don't like left-handed things? Is that who I've come to? Am I
Yes,
just a
Steph,
left-handed
you're just a
thing?
left-handed
This
object.
is some
that I'm
left-handed
associated with.
segregation right now. I ain't gonna lie.
I know it's 2 against
It's
1.
discrimination right now.
I wish.
Yeah.
I mean, sports-wise, I wish I
I'm
was
not
a
left-handed,
left-handed
but-
athlete.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's
okay,
still
never mind.
discrimination. No.
All right, LJ, who's Mr. Irrelevant Halloween candy?
I got to pick my last pick still, right? I have one more.
Yeah.
Wow, you're trying to make jokes or something?
No,
Anyways,
Mr. Irrelevant.
my last pick is gonna be something that y'all have not thought about, but it slaps.
Don't be pretzels.
That's not fucking candy.
Yeah?
What? No.
You don't have that one bitch in your neighborhood that
Oh,
gives you
yeah.
like Halloween bags of pretzels, and you're
That
like,
doesn't
why
I
did
mean, of course, but it's
Yeah.
not candy though. It isn't the
I
candy.
mean, my dentist would give me toothpaste. It doesn't make toothpaste candy.
Yeah.
I did
Anyways.
eat it.
When I'm
I-
thinking about trick or treating, there is that one house that gives
Anyways.
you pretzels, and you
That one
contemplate
house.
your entire life at
Yeah.
that moment.
You just
That was tough.
I'm
you stick your tongue out at them when you
Yeah.
get back in the truck.
I'm going Swedish fish.
Okay.
Those low key slap to me. I don't know why, but they taste good when they shouldn't taste good.
What does that mean?
Like, I would never think that a candy that's like fish shaped would ever taste
Yeah.
good at all, but
Yeah.
it does. It just
All
works.
right.
I don't know. It just works.
There it is. So my team: Skittles, Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups, Snickers, and Smarties. Just a solid bunch right there. Kins, you got the Kit Kat, Sour Patch Kids, Milk Dud, Butterfinger, and
Such a L. Milk
Twix.
Dud
I don't know that.
and Milk
Twix.
Dud.
I'm not into like the sour, like most of the sour candy things. I'm more of a chocolate.
says the girl that
person.
got Sour
I
Patch
mean,
Kids.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
her second
That
pick.
holds the whole balance of my team. The Sour Patch Kids weighs out
I
everything.
feel
else
like that
going
kind
on.
of just causes like some inner
Promotion, yeah. Her team is
turmoil.
top heavy.
I think
Yeah, it's 2 bangers and then 3 bench
if
players.
Ben Simmons was a candy on your team, he'd be the Sour Patch Kid.
I got some role players, and everyone needs role players.
Butterfinger's not even a role player. That's just a.
Someone's got to sit
on
the
the
bench.
bench.
Someone's got to sit the bench.
That's tough.
LJ has got Hershey's Cookies and Cream, Starburst, M&M's, Jolly Ranchers, and Swedish Fish.
My team's by far the best team. I don't care.
Oh, well done.
We'll leave it to the people.
Yeah, y'all comment down below.
Whose
and tell
candy
us
you riding?
Whose candy is the best? Obviously it's mine, right? But yeah, that was
fun.
Yeah, it was
Happy
fun.
Halloween. Enjoy your basketball this week. As always, we'll be back to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Deuces.
Peace.